Welcome to the Digital Glue Podcast. These digital untangling episodes are brought to you by Crystal Kordalchuk, CEO and founder of Virtually Untangled. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who need untangling from the day-to-day tasks in their business. These virtual world untanglers never underestimate the power of a good idea. And if that sounds like a lofty goal, well, it is. A decade ago, Virtually Untangled was founded with the goal of creating meaningful digital experiences that connect with people. Crystal and her team of honorary untanglers are now providing business owners just like you the opportunity to own your story and share it with the world. So, every Tuesday morning, she'll be dropping a new episode that will help you think big and dream even bigger. Let's dive into today's episode.
Last week, we talked about how we fear we're forever stuck living in a world filled with major stressors and never-ending to-do lists, which can be maddening some days and truly difficult to find time to do, well, all the things, while also trying to keep our sanity to find mindfulness time to do absolutely nothing. I also dropped a quick mention on how getting things done also tends to feel like a drug. We live in a fast-paced world that's filled with beeps and boops reminding us that we need to keep doing and being. Thus, the addiction to the joy feeling of striking those to-dos right off our list, alongside a huge sigh of relief to have one less thing to worry about. Today, I want to stick to this topic, and next week too, with productivity strategies backed up by science, before we switch gears into the last couple months of the year. However, today I want to take a crazy fun twist with freakishly effective ways to boost and be more productive. That being said, let's just dive right on in. While living in entrepreneur land, some folks feel this lifestyle is all about how many things you can do on your own without a team or a sidekick, and how many things you can do in a short amount of time or by multitasking. And quite honestly, sometimes we just want to do it all, get it done quickly, and take care of all the things ourselves because we feel it'll save us time and money. However, imagine this. You're scrambling to complete what feels like a million deadlines, attending 10 plus Zooms a day, you're answering a zillion emails, maybe even from multiple accounts, trying to ignore the calls and notifications coming from your phone, and maybe even the too many tabs you have open. And it feels like you're wearing 25 different hats. How does it feel to wear all those hats? Especially since you're wearing them all at once. I myself have been in this hat-wearing scenario way more times than I can count, even quite recently. In my business, as well as most of the work I do for my clients, I am the graphic designer, the web designer, the social media guru, the IT specialist, the help desk, the virtual assistant, the proofreader, the brand specialist, the accountant, the project manager, the business developer, the operations manager, the sales manager, and the list literally goes on and on and on for what truly feels like forever. I still, to this very day, have more hats than I can count, but now I try not to wear them all at once. I have learned over the years to combine them, but never more than 3 or 4 at a time. Why? Because every hat deserves to be worn, appreciated, and admired separately. And really, it's not a good look for you, your business, or your bottom line. Getting rid of some of your hats really boils down to 3 main things: productivity, organization, and outsourcing. Today, we're going to focus on the freakishly productive part. The goal of today's Digital Glue Untangling episode is to help you find better ways for you and your team, if you have one, to increase your level of productivity. So instead of trying to do so many damn things at once, feeling unaccomplished, stressed, and perhaps even hopeless at the end of each day, implement a few of these 10 freakish tips for at least 21 days, the time it typically takes to form any sort of new habit, and see yourself skyrocket to new heights, feeling accomplished, refreshed, and renewed. Number 1, make templates your new BFF. If you're anything like me, some days you find yourself typing the same email repeatedly. It gets annoying, and truthfully, it's a huge time waster. But guess what? There's a way to streamline this. You can reuse portions of your emails or favorite phrases that you tend to use in high frequencies so you can stop this wretched rinse and repeat cycle. Plus, doing so will save you from carpal tunnel. Yep, stop writing them from scratch. How do you ask? Well, some platforms will allow you to save canned emails within your email settings. So that way, whenever you're composing a brand spanking new email, you can save it as a canned response and reuse it later. But if you happen to not be a Gmail addict like myself, there are some alternate solutions. And for this, I'm once again an Asana project management nerd. I created a separate team tab for all the things not project related and created individual reference tasks with the word email in all caps followed by the subject line. Then within the task description, I wrote the email exactly as I'd like to always use it. Fill in the blanks where necessary and subject line included. This way, all I have to do is hop into Asana, search or scroll to that section and task, copy, paste, and send. Number 2, learn to say no. Throughout your day, people will inevitably disrupt you to get your help or input on something. It's so easy to say yes and take on more things, but this is counterproductive. Learn to say no more often to guard your time for your highest leverage activities. Saying no to something is easier said than done, but there are ways to achieve to the end without coming across as combative or crass. When someone comes to you with a request that you need to say no to, simply ask them to give you 15 minutes or some arbitrary interval of time to finish what you're working on. Then, by the time you come around to find out what they wanted, they'll often have figured it out on their own. Number 3, create a repetitious routine. The Happiness Project author Gretchen Rubin likes to summarize her love for a consistent routine, which is our jam over here, using this quote from Flannery O'Connor. If you do the same thing every day at the same time for the same length of time, you'll save yourself from many a sink. Routine is a condition of survival. While routine and repetition may seem boring, doing the same things at the same times each day empowers you to avoid decision fatigue, develop efficient habits, and complete tasks with speed and precision. Number 4, fuel your main muscle. If you experience a slump in your usual productivity, a lack of motivation might be the culprit. Rekindle your drive by reflecting on why you truly do your work. Reporting on Charles Duhigh's book, Smarter, Faster, Better, Slate reported L.V. Anderson explains, motivation is the fuel for productivity in the face of apathy and generating it as simple as tying the task at hand to a bigger, more important goal. Sometimes asking yourself why you're doing something simply isn't enough. Anderson explains as many people focus on surface level motivations such as keeping a job and a paycheck. But Duhigg insists anyone can find a deep, meaningful why behind their work if they dig deep enough. He cited an example of people who clean hospitals, finding deeper meaning in their contributions to patient healing. The why behind your work might not be obvious, but no matter what you do, keep digging until you find the motivation that gives you goosebumps. Number 5, conquer procrastination. The 2-minute rule seems simple enough, but it's a tactic that works to perpetuate a system of productivity, often interpreted as completing any task you think of that should take 2 minutes or less right away. The 2-minute rule can kill productivity if you take it at face value and don't carefully implement it. To use the 2-minute rule successfully, you should schedule time in your to-do list for the day in order. While building this list, you should find that there are some small tasks that seem like they can be done within a couple minutes. Do them. Always make sure to come back to your list and finish it though. Don't get bogged down in all of these small tasks and let them derail your day by taking up more time than they should. Number 6, set daily intentions. Know what significant goals you want to work towards every day. I list a small number of high-value tasks or goals for the day. That quote is one of my absolute favorites by Rachel Horowitz, CEO of Caribou Biosciences. Rachel states that she sits down each morning with a blank sheet of paper and asks herself, "How will I build my company today?" Doing the same will help you identify the most important tasks that you need to complete throughout the day ahead, and saving your list allows you to track your progress and check things off. How many days have ended with you looking back and going, "Man, I'm not even sure what I accomplished today"? Obviously, every person must spend time doing some degree of menial or repetitive labor, but each day you spend working should somehow be contributing to your future success. And sometimes using a list like this will help you keep on track and motivated, since you'll be able to take the day one thing at a time, rather than being overwhelmed with a bunch of unsorted ideas or running from one thing to the next, trying to figure out how to spend your time. Number 7, eat the frog. One productivity tip I've always loved is eat the frog, which means tackling the most challenging or least favorite task first thing in the day. You have your to-do list for the day, but the hardest question is, where do you start? Well, it's easier than you think. When you get started in the morning, you should tackle your least pleasant task first. Early in the day, you generally have the highest energy and the least distractions, making it easier to focus on difficult tasks. It also sets a positive tone for the day, having tackled your hardest task first. One way to stick to this routine is to shut off all distractions. Yes, all the beeps, boops, and blops. This means avoiding checking your email, phone, or social media until the hardest task of the day is complete. Number 8, be the bird that gets the worm. Take a moment to look at every top CEO, thought leader, executive, guru, or influencer you can think of. You will find that they all have one major thing in common. They wake up early. I know, you're probably not liking this idea, and you're probably thinking, how can waking up earlier than 7 a.m. truly make you more productive? But if you think about it, it'll give you the time you need to start your day off right, especially if you live in a busy household, because you'll be up before everyone else, starting your day in pure, enjoyable silence. You won't feel rushed in the morning, and you will have more quiet time to do all the things you would otherwise be too distracted to do. I started doing this a few years ago, with the exception of a few summer months we have here in Canada, of course, as I like to take those few warm months to sleep in, kind of like extra vacation hours. Waking earlier has increased my productivity dramatically. I truly do believe the way in which you rise and shine each morning makes a huge difference and impact on your daily approach in life and in business. I typically find that I hit my sweet spot groove about an hour after waking, thus getting me to my desk and already working no later than 8:15 a.m. This way, I actually take wellness breaks to do something inspiring or relaxing, while most are barely getting their groove in motion, or perhaps even starting their day. Which also means I get to end my workday at a very reasonable hour, thus leaving the evening hours purely for myself and my family. Number 9, drop the comparison battle. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. I'm sure 99% of us compare ourselves and our businesses to one of another's. But if comparison becomes a regular habit, this is where jealousy, pride, depression, and arrogance begin to sprout roots, which is the root of all evil. Now, it's okay to do this once in a while. We're only human. We try to see how we compare to the people around us or in our niche. We are all unique with unique circumstances. So no matter where you are or what stage your business is in, someone will always have more and less than you. So instead of fighting the battle, try practicing gratitude instead. Focus on moving forward on your journey and taking every opportunity to learn from one another. Be grateful for your fellow entrepreneurs' successes and let them help you identify business puzzles that are missing instead of feeling bad that they achieved something that you yet haven't. Start being grateful and proud of yourself, your business, and your accomplishments. There's no need for comparison, ever. Number 10, surrender to the demon. When you're feeling down in the dumps of stuckness, it can be super frustrating. So rather than continuing to press forward, it would be far more powerful to stand back and look at your process. Perhaps your whole problem is one of processing. Stuckness creates a world of its own and tends to bring along its downward energy friends: stress, anger, discouragement, languish, and impatience. So before all those bad energy friends pile into your pity party van, maybe it's time to consider a full surrender to the stuck demon. Fully surrendering doesn't mean you bring on neglect. It just means you will stay with it, see it through, but with an entirely fresh new set of eyes and a change in mindset, a change in perspective. Embarking on the journey towards entrepreneurship is exciting when envisioned in your mind, but can also be very daunting and demanding when materializing your ideas. Let me clearly state that being an entrepreneur is not for the faint-hearted. So I'd like to end today's episode with a sideline of some tough love to assist you on your journey. Above and beyond our freakishly productive tips, you also need to have willpower, commitment, perseverance, courage, determination, thick skin, and resiliency. My untangling team and I truly believe that one main golden key to being successful is to recognize your strengths and areas where there's room for improvement. Once again, we despise the word weaknesses. It will then be easier to move forward when you know where you already are. Remember, opportunities surely don't grow on trees, so make sure you find some time to also work on yourself by working on all these important qualities so that you can truly be excited about what you're sharing with the world through the eyes of your business. By adapting to some of these freakishly productive habits and tough love traits, you will be able to reduce your daily, weekly, and yearly stress, therefore save years on your life. Plus, it'll keep you sharp, laser focused, and organized. You will be able to tackle all your business goodies with a better frame of mind. To us here at VU, being organized isn't about getting rid of everything you own or trying to become a different person. And being nerdily productive isn't just about feeding the drug and striking things off our lists. It's about living the way we want to live, but better and stronger. Granted, it may take a bit of effort or a lot, depending on how out of sorts things have gotten for you. But creating a productive, goal-oriented business life will allow you to use your time and efforts way more efficiently. You will become the master of your time and money, not the other way around. And not only that, but the more thought out your plan and days are, the less you will need to worry about all the things.
And that's a wrap. Virtually Untangled is a full-service business, which means they've got you covered on design and content right through to digital and organization. You'll form a long-lasting relationship with them, as collaboration is central to everything they do. Now it's time to seize the moment and become inbox friends. It's easy to do. Just hop on over to virtuallyuntangled.com or their Facebook page to opt in and receive instant access to the most inspirational ride of your life. So what are you waiting for? Become inbox friends with VU. Until the next episode, keep untangling.